The closest analog in my lifetime is Ronald Reagan. President Trump is the first president since Ronald Reagan to have not initiated a war or a military conflict in the world. It's a pretty amazing record. Not only that, we're ending wars. We're ending the American involvement in Iraq. We're ending the American involvement in Afghanistan. It doesn't take place overnight, but if you look at Afghanistan, where we had 15,000 troops, we're now down to 4,500 troops. We have more allied participation in the efforts there, and we're on a pathway to get our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines home after the tremendous sacrifices of blood and treasure that the country has made over the past 19 years. So you've got a terrific demonstration of the fact that the peace through strength works. We're rebuilding the military. We're deterring our adversaries. We're able to bring folks home. And that ties into what's happening in the Middle East, to go to the last part of your question. There's a sea change that's occurring. Our allies realize that we're going to stand behind them. So our allies in Saudi Arabia, our allies in Israel, our allies in UAE, our allies in Bahrain, other nations in the region realize that because America will stand behind them, and because President Trump will enforce his red lines if necessary, as he did with Syria and as the prior administration did not, that allows space for them to engage in peace negotiations with Israel. Right. What's really amazing is that I think this is going to be a warm peace. It's not going to be a cold peace as we had with Israel and Egypt or Israel and Jordan in the past, where they were border states. There wasn't a lot of interaction, not a lot of tourism, not a lot of economic interaction. We're already seeing a dramatic increase in tourism between the UAE and Israel, between Bahrain and Israel. We're seeing economic opportunities that are really staggering. Israel is kind of the startup nation. It's a high-tech center that rivals Silicon Valley. The UAE has tremendous banking and finance and tremendous sovereign wealth. Marrying up Israeli tech and entrepreneurship with the financial center in Dubai and Abu Dhabi is going to be something that creates huge opportunities for young people in the Middle East, young Israelis, young Arabs. And I think as that develops, other countries are going to see it and want to become part of what's happening. And it's a blossoming, again, of what we're calling a very warm peace. And so far it's going well. But it didn't come from nowhere. It wasn't Deus ex machina. It was this was something that was fostered and created by President Trump taking a different approach to peace in the Middle East. So in other words, the old conventional wisdom was that you had to solve the Palestinian problem first, and you couldn't have peace between Israel and its neighbors until you solved the Palestinian problem. Well, the Palestinians, who, I can't remember the U.S. diplomat who said this, sometimes never miss an opportunity. We put out a great opening peace gambit for the Palestinians and the Israelis, and the Palestinians ignored it. Once they ignored that peace gambit, other Arab countries kind of looked at it and said, this is a good deal. The Palestinians should come to the table. They should at least negotiate on it, maybe get a better deal, which I think is possible. But if they're not going to come to the table, we're not going to continue to stunt our own growth. We're not going to continue to deny our young people opportunities in business and commerce and tourism and all the things that are available to them. We're going to make peace with Israel. And so the president laid the foundations. Getting out of the JCPOA and standing up to Iran was a big part of that. So the UAE, Saudi, others felt comfortable. They felt secure under the American security pledges. Israel felt secure, and we followed through on promises with the embassy and going to Jerusalem, as you noted, recognizing sovereignty over the Golan Heights. And in that unique set of circumstances, we literally have peace breaking out. Kosovo, which is a Muslim-majority country in the Balkans. That's true. Kosovo recognized Israel, normalized our relations with Israel, and actually announced that it's going to put its first embassy in Jerusalem. So when you think about it, there have been three Arab Muslim-majority countries and a European Muslim-majority country that have all recognized Israel in the past 2 months. It's pretty astounding.